So Fantastic Four is already in trouble, heading for annihilation, and Marvel knows it. You see, that's why they're in full panic mode. The early numbers for Fantastic Four are soft, and the buzz is weak, and the fan reaction is mixed at best. Now, Marvel is actually counting on the Fantastic Four to save what's left of the MCU. Nothing but this about this rollout looks strong. If Fantastic Four flops, that's 3 straight phases of Marvel failure with nothing to show for it. I mean, there's nothing actually strange about the reaction to this Superman movie as well as Fantastic Four movie as well. Inside fan circles, it's a battlefield, but outside, normies don't seem to hate them. On most review platforms, the general audience feedback is actually decent. The audience score is up there at 90% and verified even higher at 93 with the Superman movie. Critics saw it sitting around 71%, which could drop lower. Top critics already gave it the cold shoulder, but audience numbers are what count now. But still, box office doesn't lie, and Superman needs strong legs if it wants to survive. Now, if it can crawl into $600 million globally, then James Gunn might breathe easy. But anything under that, and the franchise is in trouble again. Now, this is I know this is with Fantastic Four, but James Gunn didn't make Superman with the bloated budgets that we've seen from Marvel lately, and that helps. Now, if toys and merchandise pick up, maybe they can cover for the shortfall, but that doesn't really change, the fact that $500 million is not good enough. Now, even with, solid weekdays and stuff, it's the weekend drops that determine the fate of the movie Superman like this. And now the pressure is turning to Marvel's next big swing, the Fantastic Four. Now this is Marvel's chance to reset the table, and all eyes are on whether they blow it again. But early predictions for the Fantastic Four aren't promising either. You see, Box Office Pro's first long-range tracking for Fantastic Four came in, and they're calling for $100 to $125 million domestic opening. That's not great for a major relaunch of one of Marvel's cornerstone teams. It's underwhelming, okay? And there's no word yet on international tracking. So that part is a wild card. And after how Superman underperformed overseas, Marvel better be sweating bullets right now, because they need Fantastic Four to show up big, not just for optics, but to keep the entire MCU from sinking even deeper. Okay, so this is supposed to be the launch of phase 6, but looking at what they're doing with it, it doesn't feel like any kind of reset. It just feels like more of the same mess that they're doing over and over again. Now, the fact that Sue Storm is positioned as the leader of the Fantastic Four already tells you where Marvel's head is at. Then you throw in the gender swapped Silver Surfer nonsense, and you've got basically a movie that's already carrying baggage before anyone's seen a frame. Okay, now, honestly, Marvel had a chance to go ahead and wipe the slate clean and focus on character and story, but instead, they've doubled down on the very choices that helped tank phases 4 and 5, or as we all call it, the MCU. Now, people aren't buying it anymore. The goodwill that once followed Marvel everywhere has evaporated. Okay, so Fantastic Four doesn't have the pull that it used to. Okay, now Pedro Pascal leading the Avengers sounds fine in theory, as they announced, but he can't even lead in his own movie yet. That's the real problem right there. Marvel simply keeps announcing plans instead of executing them. Now, maybe they'll just give him some arc in Fantastic Four, but audiences are sick of waiting for development. You see, they want a movie that delivers on its own, not homework for future films. Sue Storm taking the lead in Fantastic Four is already dividing the fans and stuff, and it just adds to the list of issues that Marvel refuses to deal with. You see, people don't want another lecture. They want to be entertained. I mean, looking at, recent performance, Marvel should be worried and stuff. Y'all remember Shang-Chi when it opened with $75.3 million and finished with $224.5 million domestically. Eternals did even worse. $71.2 million opening, $164 million total. These were supposed to be Marvel's new faces, and now they're warning signs. Box Office Pro is also predicting Fantastic Four will beat both those films with $100 to $125 million opening, but that's not a win at all. That's just not feeling as badly as others. Now, if this is their bar of success, Marvel standards have completely collapsed. Okay, and that's actually saying a lot. But they're also banking on curiosity to get people in the seats. You see, marketing will be everywhere, no doubt about that, but the MCU doesn't carry the same way it once did. You see, people aren't running to theaters just because it says Marvel on the post anymore. Even with name recognition, the Fantastic Four needs to prove it still matters. Being a known brand isn't enough. You see, the last reboot flopped hard, and now this one is walking a tightrope with fans already skeptical. Now, if Marvel fumbles this, they're done with legacy teams for good. Okay, so honestly, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, as you all remember, it had a soft opening at $118 million, but it managed to end with $358.9 million because it had legs. It wasn't front loaded. That's the blueprint Fantastic Four needs, but it's also not guaranteed. Superman is in the same position right now with decent legs, could carry it, but both films are facing brutal fatigue from audiences, or so the mainstream media calls it. Comic book burnout is happening, and people are tired of cinematic universes that demand endless time and attention because of the woke ideology they put in it. They want standalone stories. Again, it's not woke, and the Fantastic Four and Superman both crash. That's the final sign that the era is over. Now, Marvel already opened this year with two big flops. Captain America brought in $88.8 million and finished with over $200 million. Thunderbolts opened even lower at $74.3 million and barely cracked $189 million domestically. These are supposed to be tentpole releases, okay? And they're just simply performing like mid-tier filler. Now, Fantastic Four has more name value than those teams. I mean, sure, but that doesn't mean people care anymore. You see, Marvel has been running on fumes since Endgame, and Fantastic Four won't fix that unless it genuinely reinvents something. Now, tracking, as you have heard, put Fantastic Four on par with Ant-Man 3, which made $106.1 million opening weekend and ended with $214.5 million. That's not encouraging at all. Even Guardians of the Galaxy 3's $118 million opening wasn't considered a strong thing at the time. And Marvel keeps falling back on this idea that name recognition is enough. But that's not how this stuff works anymore. You see, people have been burned too many times already. They've watched franchises they used to love become unrecognizable. Now, Fantastic Four might be the brand, but Marvel's trust is actually gone. It's left a long time ago. Now, the lack of competition is this coming weekend might actually help Superman hold on a little longer, but nothing big is opening. Maybe that gives it a chance to go ahead and stay alive, but even if Superman keeps chugging, I mean, the bigger issue remains, audiences are just tired. The old tricks don't work. The build up to crossover events don't excite people anymore. I mean, nobody wants to go ahead and watch a dozen shows and stuff just to go ahead and understand what's happening in one movie. I mean, it's exhausting. Okay, so Marvel made that mistake, and now even DC is doing the same thing. That kind of strategy simply doesn't fly anymore. Okay, so Fantastic Four is supposed to launch a new phase, but no one's really excited. Okay, nobody talks about phases like they used to. The moment that word shows up, people tune out. It sounds like a spreadsheet and not a story. And Marvel spent so long building timelines and calendars that they forgot how to actually make good movies. Now, they're trying to sell Fantastic Four as a fresh start, but they're dragging all the same baggage into that particular matter. And that's not a new beginning. That's a rerun. And fans will see right through it. Okay. So, yeah, Superman and Fantastic Four share a lot of the same problems. They're both iconic. They used to mean something. And now they're just rebooted so often that nobody knows what they stand for anymore. I mean, this is just the third Superman reboot. Same for the Fantastic Four. You had the original Fox team and then the 2015 mess. Now Marvel and DC are stuck in the same cycle. They don't build trust anymore. They just keep starting over and over again, hoping people will forget. But the people won't forget, okay? And honestly, Marvel thought that, legacy brands like the Fantastic Four would automatically carry weight. I mean, they don't. You have to earn it now. You have to make people care again. Marvel lost that ability during the phases 4 and 5 of the MCU. Now the stories got worse, the characters got flat, the politics got loud, and the audience walked away. Now, rebooting Fantastic Four won't change any of that unless Marvel starts acting like it really wants to win people back. Otherwise, it's just more of the same. Now, comic book movies, they're going to be dying soon, but they're simply hanging on. If Fantastic Four crashes, it's a clear sign the genre needs to rest. Maybe Batman, Spider-Man, or something X-Men related still has enough juice, but these cinematic universes built around 20 interconnected projects, people are done. They want simple, they want fun, they don't want a part-time job trying to go ahead and keep up. If Marvel can't deliver that with Fantastic Four, then it's time to shut the door on the old model and figure something new out. So let me know your thoughts about this in the comments below. Be sure to smash that like button, share the video far across social media, subscribe to the channel, turn on that bell for future uploads, notifications, and I'll see you on the next one. Until then, peace.